right, friends, welcome back to another episode of Quaran Convos. Tonight, we have none other than the beautiful Trehana Mary on the line.
Oh, girl. Queen Amber, thank you.
I can't take it. I tried again, but I can't. Welcome, my dear, beautiful Black Barbie. I'm so happy to have you this evening. So, a little bit about Trehana. Trehana is an up-and-coming actress in the DMV area, and she also hails from the DMV area. DMV, stand up.
Oh, yep. Relive. Okay.
All right. So let's kind of just dive right into things. So there's been lots of news outlets that claim that millennials, in particular, our generation, not taking COVID-19 seriously, not taking the quarantine and the stay-at-home orders seriously. So we're just out, we're buying tickets to places because they cheap. We just doing stuff. So what do you think about that? Do you think that millennials in particular are not taking this seriously enough? Or do you think the opposite side of the spectrum? Like, no, we are taking it seriously. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I can't speak too much on if I think millennials in particular aren't taking it serious enough. But there are also people in our generation that are. I think that just because certain people might be older in age doesn't mean necessarily they might be older in maturity, and maturity isn't only connected to your age and what number it is. So just because you're young, you don't have to settle for not knowing. You don't have to settle for being that oh, I'm just young. No, we can still educate ourselves and still be mature about it. It's just being young, you're just still wrapped up in your head, and being young, it's kind of hard. Or even being young and privileged, even then, it's so hard to take yourself out of that situation and not seeing about some of the things that you may be doing that might be selfish. So it's either selfishness or just fear, and not even trying to touch that fear. That might be preventing some of our cohorts and whatnot from taking it as seriously as we could.
Yeah. It almost sounds like a lack of self-understanding or self-awareness and the impact that your actions can directly have on other people, like quite literally in this instance. So, I absolutely,
big facts.
Yeah, I absolutely share a lot of your sentiments. I believe also that there are quite a few of us who are taking it seriously. And then you also have people who decide that, because they're not taking it seriously, it doesn't matter. And that is a very selfish way to look at it. You hit the nail on the head. It's about seeing beyond your own nose. So, how have you been spending your time indoors?
Well, I mean, other than binging, shows, been trying to just keep myself busy, keep my mind active. Sudoku puzzles. I haven't read a book yet. It's coming. Don't worry, y'all. Don't
Girl,
get
you
on
got time.
But right, we got time. So I just been binging, trying to get my hands on things in terms of writing, trying to make connections with people, but more so just trying to just keep myself busy. I go on walks. I walk my dog, play with my dog. It's just every day. And you know what? It's crazy because I usually do have to work on a schedule, and I know schedules usually do help people, but for like the last week or two, which is, not the total length of how we've been in quarantine, but the last week or two, I've just been kind of going with the flow. Hippie type lifestyle, you know, productive here, self-care here, and kind of like just take every day seriously. Every breath is like, okay, I can do something. Just trying to, yeah, keep my head above the water.
Yeah, absolutely. I identify with that. It's like very early on, uh, in the quarantine, or like the self-isolation, the social isolation, I guess they're calling it social distancing, my apologies. Very early on in that process.
Even physical distancing, I even like that term.
Yeah, yeah. Well, very early on, I was seeing, and I don't know if you were seeing this as well, but it was kind of like an air of shaming people for not spending this time, like every single moment, filling it with productivity. I I have never identified with that. I always believe that you can push yourself a little too hard if you don't give yourself time to rest. And I think that, so
Hmm.
many Americans work hard every single day, as they must, because they have to provide for their families. They have to provide for their
Hmm.
lifestyle. If they don't have a family, they're single. But they've got to provide for themselves one way or another. So people are out here grinding, working, working, working. But I do think a
Yeah.
positive part of this social distancing, or this stay-at-home order that we're under, is it's allowing people to rest. It's allowing people that need
Yeah.
rest to just chill. Because, like you
Yeah,
said,
so many people I know have burnout. Burnout is so
yes,
real. And I think that's one of the reasons why people shouldn't jump on each other for not creating something. Because I mean, like if you're a person and you usually don't have a 9 to 5, or you don't have how many kids, and you don't have this many things to do when you get home, you know, they might have burnout, or maybe they don't need to be spending that energy that they could be relaxing with. They don't need to be, everybody don't need to be doing the same thing, and we should be pressuring each other. If you're someone that has the time and you have the creativity and the energy to do it, and you're doing a disservice to yourself of not taking of any opportunity, okay, maybe it'd be like, hey, do you want to do something? But the fact that we have to force people to, or like it's a competition, we should be, you know, keeping the positivity and letting people do what they need to do. This is not a creative break. This is a pandemic. And so it just so
right,
happens that we should be doing things that are productive to keep ourselves productive.
right. Absolutely, 1000%. Well, let's kind of pivot towards another direction of our conversation. I will ask you this though before we do our full pivot. How long do you think we're going to be on lockdown?
Um, I think things might calm down at the end of May. I'm hoping, I'm speaking on it, I'm feeling
Ooh,
it.
that
You
sounds
know what I'm saying? I'm
ambitious.
praying on it. Whew. Uh, sis, this summer is not canceled. The whole year is 2020 is not canceled. You feel me? Like it's not. We still got things to do. But if people listen, we might make it shorter.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think realistically, you know, the fall is when we'll actually start seeing a big change. More through the summer, we might be able to have looser restrictions, but we can't just jump right at it too fast, too quickly.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, let's do our full pivot. Trehana, you are one of the newer actresses on Officially Adulting. So, tell us a little bit about your
Yes.
character and how you get ready to play her on the show.
Okay. So, I mean, my name is Garnett. I love my new character. She's very relatable. I know so many people that are just like her, you know, going into med school, bubbly, excited, smart. We love these Black woman roles. We love these, you know what I'm saying? We love these symbolisms and images we got going on. So I really like her. She puts it out there, and she's loyal to her friend. So, and the way I get prepared is, like I said, I have so many friends that if don't act like her, they have similarities to her.
Mhm.
So I just kind of pay attention to my friends, pay attention to myself. I do people watching. And it's also the fact of creating your character and thinking your character as a life. Like, you have to understand the whole world that's going around that character. So I also like to make sure I know the material, which is imperative, especially if you're in a play or movie. That's, you have to read the entire thing. So for context, interacting with the people in the play, interacting with the people in that world, what's going on around, what year is it? You got to know those certain things to inform yourself on, instead of just taking it off the page and just saying them. You actually got to live them, because you're breathing life into that character.
You
So
are
yeah, I
becoming
just think
the
of it
role.
as a real person. Yeah,
Mhm.
you just have to really think about it, and also just broaden your imagination. Sometimes, like, it's there's a difference, and we use, certain focuses. You don't want to focus too hard on, oh, what am I going to say next, oh, how am I going to act next, da, da, da. You want to have a softer focus so you can really see what's going around you, what other people saying, and so you can do that given what I'm about to give back.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
I'll be
what I
rapping.
hear you saying is it's not just acting, but also reacting that is important in
Yeah,
becoming your character and portraying that role.
very crucial. You have to hear the other person. You have to feel the other person. Because,
Mhm.
I mean, you could do a one person show. You really could. But if you got a scene partner, that's not what that's about. You got to use them. You got to feed person things like in person auditions or in person, and ground yourself, which is honestly the biggest thing you can do to give and receive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. That's good. And I think that's very important to note when you are an actress or if you are in our field in any capacity. So, yeah, as you know, in our
Right.
field, it's very people focused. When we go to auditions, we're interacting with people. When we are on set, we are interacting with people. When we have our premieres, when we do things as actresses, we're interacting with people. So, how is that impacting you as an actress now that you're not able to go to those face-to-face roles? Like, what are you filling that time with?
Well, filling that time with planning, like what roles can I get in the future? What, you know, mentorship, what programs, like just researching, even just on IG, like who are some cool people or key people that I need to follow next or that I could learn from? Do they have any programs going on? Are they having any IG live with advice going on? Things like that. But also, like, who can I network after all of this is said and done? Who can I reach out to? Who can I create with? So this is really for me, at least, it's more about planning and how I can set myself up for how it's gonna be or when it's gonna be all said and done. I try to do the video auditions, but like you said, I would so much prefer in person auditions because you can really feel it. You can really be there and be present. But I mean, you just have to force yourself and not even force yourself, you just have to grow. And it makes you want to take your craft more seriously because it's
Yeah.
like, all right, this is something I have to do. This is something that I'm gonna have to make as effective as possible. So your brain starts turning. And you're like, all right, what? This ain't conventional, but what do I got to do to make it? And now, I mean, maybe I learned a new skill that I'm gonna use in person. Maybe you know I have something. Keep writing. Maybe I have something I want to write. Maybe I have something that I want to present to somebody when this is done. So for me, it's about planning and I guess honing in on that hunger because yeah, it's tough, it's rough, but thinking ahead and just keeping positivity is the best thing.
You're right. And I think that's what so many of us need right now, that motivation to keep going, that motivation to keep
Yeah.
planning for tomorrow, even though tomorrow looks bleak. So we're taking that time still to plan as if it were already coronavirus free. So
Yeah.
would like to see much more of that energy, especially coming from us as millennials, rather than this bash culture of, if you don't come out with a new skill, if you don't come out with whatever, then you wasted all your time and you were like lacking discipline. When in actuality, people.
I don't think sleep is a waste of time.
I personally don't think it is neither. That's just us. So, but yeah,
For the record.
absolutely. We are treading in uncharted territory, and it's difficult to navigate because we've never dealt with anything like this before. And like you said, as a creative, sometimes things come to you in a time when you wouldn't expect them to. So like you were saying, maybe something good comes of this, like a new script or something, just something to keep your mind going, to keep your creativity up, your motivation up. I think that was a really good point.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually an excellent point to leave our viewers with. So Tree, I am so grateful to have you not only on Quaran Conversations, but on Officially Adulting overall. And I appreciate you taking out time this evening to chat with me. This conversation has been so lovely, almost as lovely as you.